I am Shazin. So next macroeconomic variable is price level, that is inflation. So we are going to learn what is inflation. So what is inflation? Very simple meaning is inflation is price of the commodity is increasing. That is inflation, right? If a 1 kilogram of wheat flour is 50 rupees today, if 1 kilogram of wheat flour 100 rupees in after 3 years, so it is inflated. So our price level has been inflated, that is inflation, right? So high rates of inflation are harmful to economy. Yeah, if a price level is increased, right, but according to this price level increment, our salary is not increased, so our saving in other side will be decreased. Even though price is increase or decrease, we have to consume our food, our essential item in a same level, right? If you are family consuming 10 kilogram of the rice in each and every month, you should consume 10 kilogram of rice in each and every month. So even the price increases, right, you will have to consume that much of rice, so your cost will automatically increase, your saving will be reduced. That's why inflation is harmful to an economy. So you take the whole economy, 2 crores of our population having the impact of this price level increasing. So how much of cost will be increased, how much your saving will be reduced. That is the harmful of economy. The inflation redistributes income and wealth, right? The uncertain about the income means we are monthly getting the income. Wealth means through the income you are saving some money and purchasing assets or depositing it in the bank. So it is a wealth of the. So we know that business means increase, making profit in order to increase the wealth of the owner, right? Wealth of the owners. So owners will have the more wealth. More wealth means more stability in the financial side, right? Financial side means whatever the assets can be measured in the monetary term means it's a financial, right? If you have the asset but it cannot be measured in the financial term, you cannot sell that. For example, human. If you have the human, right? Can you sell you at a price? Yeah, you don't have the price for you, right? So asset should be resource. It should be have the value in monetary terms, right? The uncertainty about the value of money makes business planning more difficult. Constantly changing prices impose extra cost. Yeah, inflation. So we have to plan our business. We have to prepare the budget for next year. For example, you are running a bakery. So each and every month you will have to make the profit of 25%. So profit of 25% on the sales will, right? Sales multiplied by 25% will be your profit, right? So raw material and cost, everything will be deducted from the sales and getting the 25% profit. If the raw material cost increase in each and every month, your sales will not be increased, right? So if you sell the 100 breads in a month or 1000 breads in a month, so each and every month your sales will be 1000 breads. So you will prepare the budgets like this. January month I will sell the 1000 breads, right? In February I will sell 1000 breads. In March also I will sell 1000 breads. In April maybe it's a new year month, so your breads consumption may be reduced, so other item will be increased, right? So you will sell only 700 breads. So you will plan that. So according to that, your raw material purchasing should be planned, right? If you purchase the raw material cost will be included in the profit or loss. So if each and every month, so your country's price level is not constant, your profit also varying depend on, so it's going down and going up in 1 month, so you can't actually plan for your business. It's very difficult. So constantly changing price impose extra cost. So demand pull inflation arises from an excess of, there are two type of inflations there: demand pull inflation and cost push inflation. Demand pull inflation arises from an excess of aggregated demand over the productive capacity of the economy. For example, even though you have the supply, right? You have the supply, you are producing 100 breads, so your population in the area consuming the bread also 100%, right? So for example, take population will be increased to 150, so you have to sell the 100 breads to 150. It is not possible, right? So 150 people come and asking you the bread, so you will say, okay, I am selling the bread at 60 rupees, but demand is increased now, so if anyone pay the 100 rupees, I will sell the bread. So demand increases, supply constant, demand increases according to that level. So people are thinking, demand increases, so our products demand is increasing, we can increase the product, increase the our price level and meet the more profit. That is one type, right? Price of the raw material of this production, right? And the cost for this production is not changing, is same. Demand of this production consumption maybe have been increased, due to that we increase the price, so according to that our profit will be increased, right? Profit this much previous days, so after demand increase, profit will be increased with the selling price increase. But cost push inflation is, it's like this: your demand is not increased, right? Your price is same level, this may be price, this is demand, so you making the 20% profit, your cost is like this. So if cost is increases, your price will be increased, you should make the 25% profit in order to meet the other overheads, right? So you may understood this. It's like this. For example, take you making the sales of 200 rupees, right? So your cost of sale is 100 rupees, right? So your gross profit is 100, your overhead is 70, right? Your gross 70, so 30 will be your net profit, right? For example, take this is 200, after that this is 200, right? Your cost is 150, so 50 rupees will be your gross profit. You have to meet the 70 rupees overhead will not be changed. So administration overhead and selling overhead, it may be fixed, head office cost may be fixed most of the time, right? Not like a raw material cost. So you have to meet this, right? 70. So what is the, so even though you making 200, so what should be the your break-even sales, right? You should meet the 70, right? You should meet the 70, right? Your break-even sales is how much? You have to understand what is break-even sales. So if you make the 200 rupees sales, right, 50% will be your cost of sale, so 100 rupees, right? 50% is that. So your break-even sales, so this is 50% gross profit, right? Gross profit 50%, right? It's 100 divided by 200, right? So you should make the at least 70 here, at least 70 here, right? So 50%. So if you make at least 70 here, right? So what will be your sales? 50% 140, right? 140 you should make at least to meet the your head office cost. Take 140 will be your sales, then 70 will be cost. So 50% is profit, right? So it's 50%. So your head office cost 50, you meet 70. So you should at least to meet this head office cost. So if price level is reduced, if I say it's 100, it may be 50, then your profit will be 50. So you cannot afford, right? You should increase your price to 150. So 75 rupees will be your cost of sale, then 75 will be, so automatically you have to increase your price. That is cost push inflation, right? The inflation is name given to an increase in price levels generally, right? It is also manifest in the decline in the purchasing power of money. It will be reduced. Manifest in the decline means it will be increase the decline in the purchasing power, right? It is reduce the purchasing power. Our purchasing power will be reduced, now reduced, right? So you don't, for a good example is you cannot if a price level of petrol, oil increases, right? Even though oil increases, you will have to fill your vehicle with the petrol, right? Correct capacity. So what is the price of the diesel in before 10 years? So 70 rupees, 60 rupees. What is the price for today? It's 107 rupees something, right? 107 or 170 rupees. So it's increased, right? So due to that, transportation of the people may be reduced, right? Private transportation may be reduced. Most of the people are using the now Uber taxi and the public transport. So because we can save some money. We don't need to spend money on that, right? Historically, there have been very few periods when inflation has not been present. We discussed below why high rates of inflation are considered to be harmful. However, it is important to remember that deflation is normally associated with lower rates of growth and even recession. It would seem that healthy economy may require some inflation. Certainly, if an economy is grow, the money supply must expand, and the presence of the low level of inflation will ensure the growth is not hampered by the shortage of liquid fund. Liquidity is the ease with which assets can be converted into cash. So when the economy grows, our resources, our saving, our consumption of the resources mean labors also resource, right? Our land also resource, buildings also resource, our natural resources also resource. So everything will be increases, right? Automatically other side we need a money also, right? Everything is increasing, money is shortage. How can we can afford that resources through with the money that is less than the resources? We have to increase the money also. When money supply increases, automatically price level also increases, right? Why is the inflation a problem? Economy policy objective, which now has a central place in the policy approach of the government of many developed countries, is that the stable price. Why is the high rate of price inflation harmful and undesirable? First one, redistribution of income and wealth, right? I already told it. Then balance of payment effects. Balance of payment account we will learn later. The uncertainty of value of money and prices. The resources cost of changing prices. The economy growth and investment, we will see what will that. So all these 5 items will be impacted through this price level increment. Then first one, redistribution of income and wealth. Inflation leads to redistribution of income and wealth in way which may be undesirable. Redistribution of wealth might take place from account payable to accounts receivable. This because that lost real value with inflation. For example, if you own rupees 100 price, then double, you will still owe 100,000, but the real value of your debt would have been real value may be reduced. For example, I'm taking good example. I have a 100,000 before 10 years, right? I have the 100,000 before 10 years, right? In a bank. I did not deposit any money other than the 100,000 in the bank. Now I am going to take from a bank that 100,000 will be 100,000 today. Money value is same, right? Assume no interest will be charged. I told bank to not charge any interest. I don't need any interest. So before 10 years also I have 100,000. Today also I have 100,000. Before 10 years, if I have 100,000, if I take the money out and buy the gold, I can buy the 3 pounds of gold. So 35 rupees. 35,000 one pound gold is 35,000. Today 1 pound gold is 8,000, right? So what happened to our money value? Gold price has been increased. It is inflation. Our money value reduced. So if I buy the 3 pound of gold in before 10 years, today that gold value will be 240,000. 3 pound, 3 into 80,000, 240,000. I made big mistake, right? That effect will be there in the inflation, right? Before 1 year, someone has to pay 100,000 to me, but he doesn't pay. he paying today. If he paying today, today's price of the value of that money and before 1 year value of that money may be different. That's why the example told, but it cannot be understood easily. That's why I took the gold example. Then general times, in times of inflation, those with economic power tend to gain at the expense of weak, particularly those on fixed income. In Sri Lanka, inflation rate each and every year inflation rate is 5 to 6%, right? Keep your mind. Sometime in general question also maybe asking your question 5 to 6%. If 5% 5% and 6% given in exam paper, underline the 6%, right? If 6% is not given, underline the 5%, right? Always underline the upper dot, right? The balance of payment effect. If a country has higher rate of inflation than its major trading partners, its export will become relatively expensive and import relatively cheap. As a result, the balance of trade will suffer, affecting employment in exporting industries and in industries producing import substitute. Eventually, the exchange rate will be affected. Balance of payments means it's like this: company is having the current account in the bank. So all the transaction, paying to the supplier, receiving the money, everything done through that's balance of payment, the current account. Like that, each and every country also having the current account, right? First one is trading account there. In trading account, export there, import there, then service account there. Finally, fourth one, whatever the money sent from the abroad workers will be added there. Then foreign investment will be there, and capital transaction will be there, right? So all thing aggregated value will be current account. So all the transaction are when you export one item to the foreign transaction, it will be automatically recorded in the current account, right? You will have to first get the permission from the customs and you have to export, right? Import also same thing. When you import comes, you have to get the permission from the customs and you have to import. You have to pay the import duty and you have to pay. So it's automatically recorded, right? That's why they are saying, if not recorded in import and export, it's a black market export and import. Some drugs, some good acceptable item also black market we importing and exporting to reduce our import duties, right? So that is not recorded in our current account, right? So balance of payment is different topic. We have to learn that, right? Uncertainty of the value of money and prices. If the rate of inflation is imperfectly anticipated, no one has certain knowledge of the true rate of inflation, right? As a result, no one has certain knowledge of value of money or the real meaning of prices. 100,000 rupees before 1 year and today is different. How can I say 100,000? If I, for example, if chartered accountant, one of the chartered accountant, take on MBBS, one of the doctor has taken the 10 lakh salary for 10 years. Today, new MBBS also taking the 10 lakh salary. Is both the same? No. You should take at least 20 lakhs of salary. Both are not same, right? If the rate of inflation becomes excessive and there is hyperinflation, this problem becomes so exaggerated that money becomes worthy. People unwilling to use it and are forced to resort to barter. Hyperinflation means inflation is like this. Today's price of the wheat flour is 100 rupees. So next year wheat flour's price is 1000 rupees. It's increasing 1000%. It's increasing 200%, 300%. Hyperinflation. For the hyperinflation economic, if you're going to do the accounts, there are separate SLFRS also there. Hyperinflation SLFRS there. That's SLFRS is, I think SLFRS 14 or something. LKS 29. LKS 29. Yeah. That is there for hyperinflationary economics. We have to take the inflation to the financial statement and we have to do the financial statement. We have to show in the that's inflation rate separately. So in hyperinflation rate, can anyone like to take the money? Can anyone like to take the money? What will impact if you take the money? if you're giving the gold and you taking the money, 1 pound of gold, and you taking the 80,000 rupees today. So after 2 years, after 1 year, the gold price may be 160,000, but you having 80,000. Today gold price and your money will be equal. So after 1 year gold increase. So with the 80,000 you have today, you cannot buy the same amount of gold in next year. So will you like to take the money instead of taking the barter? So if you give the gold, you will take the diamond. So on those type of countries, money transactions are very small. No one give the money, no one take the money. Actually no one take the money. If I give the my works to my if I am employee, if I accountant, I am giving the works to my employer, and employee give the money, I will say no, I don't need the money, please give the 2 pounds of gold in each month. I will aggregate the barter, I will aggregate the goods. It can be appreciated in future. It's happening in most of the most of the African country. Mostly it is impact to the Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe having the $10 million Zimbabwe dollar, right? Zimbabwe currency is dollar. Zimbabwe 10 million Zimbabwe dollar. 10 million. We have the 5,000 note. They have the 10 million Zimbabwe dollar note. Now increase or something. Now $20 million or something increase. Before 10 years, 10 million means 1 crore. 1 crore of note. Zimbabwe note is there, but no use. They are not using. Even though in their country also they are not using each and every month. So it increases. Prices increases, right? That's why inflation rate. If inflation rate is high, money transaction will be reduced. Money supply will be reduced, right? If money supply will be reduced, automatically the country become a less worth in the world, right? The resource cost of changing prices. Another reason to aim for stable prices is the resource cost of frequently changing prices. In times of high inflation, substantial labor time is spent on planning and implementing price changes. Customers may also have to spend more time making price comparisons if they seek to buy from the lowest cost resource. Right? Economic growth and investment. It's sometimes claimed that inflation is harmful the country's economic growth and level of investment. A study by Robert Barrow, Bank of England Quarterly Bulletin, May 1995, examined whether the evidence available supports this view. Barrow found from data covering over 100 countries from 1960 to 1990 that on average an increase in inflation of 10 percentage points per year reduced the growth rate of real GDP per capita by 0.2 to 0.3 percentage points per year, and lowered the ratio of investment to GDP 0.4 percentage to 0.6 percentage point. Although the adverse influence of inflation on economic growth and investment appears small, this could affect a country's standard of living fairly significantly over the long time. So what will be good for our country? Importing more, exporting more. If we exporting more and taking the money from outside to country, means we are increasing our wealth. If we importing more and giving the money outside, is we reducing our wealth more. So better to make the money from outside. We have to export more and take the money, right? In Sri Lanka, importation is more here. Importation is more here. Due to that, our exchange rate also reducing, right? If you buy the one car from the US, it's maybe $100,000. We have to pay the $100,000 in terms of dollar. So we have to change our currency dollar and we have to pay, right? Our money going out, right? We purchasing goods and keeping the goods is no mean. We have to export, right? That's why inflation will be impact to that also. If our price level is increases, right? Price level is increases. No one will take the goods from us. That is also impact. For example, take today dollar price is 100 rupees. I'm taking the for a business 100 rupees. we are exporting, right? We are exporting yeah, today dollar is 100 rupees. We are exporting tea, export tea. So 1 kilogram of tea I am exporting. 1 kilogram of tea is $100, right? After 2-3 years, after 1 month, after one month credits, right? After 1 month, I will have to get the $100. $100 means I am selling as a rupee value, right? I'm selling at a rupee value 100 rupees per dollar. $1 kilogram is $1. Say 1 kilogram of tea is $1, right? So today I have to receive the 100 rupees. So if I receive the $1 from the US company, right, I will receive the 100 rupees today. So after 1 month, our dollar price may be increased to 120 rupees, right? If a foreign company give the $100 to me, I will make the profit of 20 rupees, right? So our price level is increased, our price of the dollar will be increases. So foreign company will say we will not pay in the rupee value. If we pay the rupee value, if we will not pay in the dollar value, we will pay in the rupee value. If we pay in the rupee value, what will be paid? 120 rupees. But I will have to have the 100 rupees. So $0.8 will be received, right? $0.8 is maybe equal to 100 rupees after 1 month, right? So our export income may be reduced due to this deflation, due to this inflation. Then consumer price indices. So consumer price indices, many indices there, many index there, but here not expecting much. So understanding the background and understanding the just we have to see what is there in our economy. That is only enough. We have already referred to the way in which the inflation erodes the real value of money. In order to measure changes in real value of money as a single figure, we need to group all goods and services into single price index. In Sri Lanka, the National Consumer Price Index is widely used. There are 20 items there, and they aggregate the quantity and the price and find out the total value and divided by some total this and find out the index. That is not we have to learn deeply, just understand this is there. A consumer price index based on the chosen basket of items which consumers purchase. A weighting is decided for each item according to the average spending on the item by consumer. Consumer price indices may be used for several purposes. For example, as an indicator inflationary pressures in the economy, as a benchmark for wage negotiations, and to determine annual increases in the government benefits payments. Countries commonly have more than one consumer price index because its single composites index may be considered too wide a grouping for different purposes. Some items in the economic may be missed in some indexes. That's why 2-3 indices are used. Okay. Causes of inflation: demand pull factor, then cost push factor, import cost factor, expectation excessively growth in the money. Okay. So demand pull factor: inflation resulting from a persistent excess aggregated demand over aggregate supply. Supply reaches a limit on expected full employment level, right? I already told this. Demand full inflation, right? Then cost push inflation, import cost factor: if import cost increases, we have to give more money outside, right? Then expectation and inflations, the money supply growth, government policy towards inflation. The best way of controlling inflation will depend on the causes of it. In practice, it may be difficult to know which cause is the most significant. The table below sets out various policies designed to control inflation. Basic cause of inflation: policy to control demand pull inflation. What government can take? Okay, actions: take steps to reduce the demand in the economy, perhaps by higher taxation to cut consumer spending, lower the So if you increase the, good example is vehicles. For a vehicle, our government charging the 200% tax on that. Otherwise everyone will buy the vehicle and our roads will be full, right? We have to impose more tax on that. So demand is there, right? Everyone like to buy the vehicle. So government has increased the price level. If a 10 lakhs vehicle price is 1 crore, we have to pay the 2 crores to the government and buy the 1 crore vehicle. So 3 crores cost. So no one will buy that. So only rich people will buy that. So we can reduce the demand, right? First good example there. Then cost push factor takes steps to reduce the production cost. We have to impose the control price, and government can give the grants to suppliers and reduce the cost price level, reduce the cost of the raw materials, right? The import cost take the steps to reduce quantities or the price of imports by trying to achieve a change in the exchange rate. So likewise importation cost also we can reduce. Likewise the importation cost was good example is if the import cost is higher here, government has to find that if whether this import item can be imported from another economy or can we produce in-house in our country. That is also one thing. Then excessively fast growth in the money supply step to reduce the rate of money supply growth. I already told, if money supply increases, our money will not go outside, so automatically we have the more money, so we are willing to give the more money on one purchase, right? We have to reduce that. Money supply should be reduced in each economy, right? The expectation of inflation pays clear policies which indication government determines to reduce the rate of inflation. Inflation cannot be reduced like that, right? We have to increase the export. If you not increase the export, if you not increase our in-house production, and you have to give the all the production outside and make the money. That is the only one thing we have to do. Without they giving the common idea, the inflation and interest rate, government may adopt a policy high rate of inflation. So all what I have explained is given here, right?